On this episode, we discuss the new Motorola flagship, the Nike app theory, why you're not able to get those new Jordans, and we talk about the versus battles. Tune in. What is the deal, beautiful people?
Hello.
Welcome back to another episode. My name is Ramon.
I am Tawann, aka the Kicks God.
And I am going to be Snow God today because he is the Kicks God.
Yeah, he's the Snow God.
Fair enough.
We rocking.
How you gentlemen living?
Good, man.
I'm here,
Good.
chilling.
We working and
Still dealing with
Yeah,
circumstances.
beautiful day out
of
today.
course.
And it's not even supposed to
Yeah,
be
it
this
is.
nice out.
I saw something. I saw it was going to be a little bit nice.
I knew it was going to be nice. I'm not outside grilling right now, so I'm tight.
Oh yeah, well, always time for a little bit of grill action.
Well, I can't get the meat that I want. Pause.
Ooh, yeah. Sorry.
Let me ask you gentlemen something. In lieu of the current events, have you found yourself living a more health-conscious lifestyle?
I guess I can tackle that first. Does anyone want to hit first?
Nah, you go first.
Yeah. When it comes to now, considering everything that has transpired, pandemic wise, I can say yes. Me more so. Like, I don't know about y'all, but me and my family more so than I would think. I don't know anyone else in my family doing a lot of making a lot more healthy decisions. Me and the wife have been making taking our steps towards purchasing bikes. She actually has her bike, and I hope to get my bike soon. And we've incorporated healthy eating as well, healthier eating as well. We are much more conscious of how much salt, or what our salt intake is. Where we just eat more home cooked food. Outside food and fast food, and we'll have it once a week, maybe. You know what I'm saying?
Like a treat.
Yeah, and I think that's what where my family used to be back in the days. Like, a Friday night would be our eat out night. Whether my dad would go get White Castles, or he would go and get him and my mom would go and get Chinese food. I can distinctly remember one year where they ordered Chinese food, and I'm like, wait, what is this new flavorful and excuse me, it was just like, what is this? I had never had Chinese food prior to, but I'm having it now, and I'm like, this is fucking amazing. But you realize in all of its amazingness, how not good it is for you. That was heavy in MSG, and I ain't talking Madison Square Garden
Bars.
You know what I'm saying? It was heavy then, and people, particularly Black Americans, were dropping like flies. Hypertension, high blood pressure, all of these things. And we're asking ourselves, well, where does it all come from? Well, we're eating foods that not just are high in salt, but they're high in monosodium glutamate. So it's just like, yeah. Now, fast forward to now, I don't want the salt anymore. I don't want any of it. Let's move forward to a much healthier us. Eat better, ride bikes and
Stay active.
And now, more than ever, because when you're locked down in your home and you really can't go anywhere like that, you find yourself eating more than you really want to. So, you know, to offset that adversity, yeah, let's buy a bike. Let's go for walks. Even I have yet to go for a fucking walk. We should go for a walk. And just nice. Yeah. And you know, we've also gotten into she threw on an aerobics kickboxing type thing. And we did that for about 20 minutes, give or take.
Shout out to Billy Blanks and Tabo series Billy back Blanks, in the days.
For sure. Yeah. He actually had one of his videos on it, and the next one you had to pay for. So, you know, he's still getting paid. And, you know, just like I said, just being more health conscious, health active. And that's it, man. I right now, in these times, I think it's all about health. Whatever health you so choose to focus on, I feel like it's very important now.
Okay. What about you, Snow?
So, for me, not really, because I've been making changes and stuff prior to this, way before. Some you guys know, but the world probably doesn't. Like, I used to work for GNC at one point, which also kick-speared that. Me growing up looking at the family and all that stuff, you know, I know that salt was killing us and sugar was killing us, and you just start making whatever you can back in the days before the internet. You doing your little homework and you just pay attention.
Right.
I've also been put in situations where I lived in households where one person couldn't eat salt like that, and we all had to suffer. And then I realized that I could start tasting food more. So what you do, you back off the salts. I learned that when I go to fast food chains, that if I really just want the burger, just order the burger. Don't order the fries. Don't get the big drink. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
So all these things, I curved sugar. One of the things that helped me curve sugar is when I was in college. I came back home for like a break or something, and I go buy me a pack of M&Ms or Snickers, and they be like, yo, 55 cents. I'm like, yo, fam, I came in here with 2 quarters. I'm walking out of here.
With 2 quarters or
yeah,
M&Ms, a pack of M&Ms.
This is how this is gonna go.
How much is M&Ms today?
$1 for the small pack.
Yeah, for the original pack. So I'm like, fam, I'm either walking out of here with 2 quarters or walk out of here with this M&Ms. And the beginning, especially Angel, shout out to Angel. You know, that was my local store across the street from the hood. He knew, and he would let me rock. When it went up to 65, he couldn't let me rock, and I was like, no problem, fam. I gave him 75 cents.
60 cents.
I gave him 75 cents a couple times just because he let me go many times for the 50 when it was 55.
He was
Ak. He was Poppy. He was Poppy.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I mean?
It's Ak in our hood.
Yeah.
Ak ain't getting. Well, Ak ain't getting an additional quarter.
It's Ak now, and yeah. So tells you about that. So I started curbing that while I was in college, along with the ramen noodles, super high in sodium, right?
Woo.
And then you start learning about exactly what is sodium to the best of your knowledge, and you know, I just little by little just been switching it up. So all these things, you know, I've been doing. Part of me doing grilled food was one of the reasons why I bought a Foreman grill when I was in college. I had changed some of that eating habits in college. At the one time where I probably shouldn't have been, I should have just been picking out some more. But like, I was in New Hampshire. It wasn't no dope flavor town stuff going on up there. So being here in this crisis is like, nah, I've been telling people about vitamin D3 and vitamin C because as people in America as well, you're lacking that right now because we're all stuck in the house. Outside of the pandemic, you're lacking it anyway. Ladies, if you're listening, get vitamin D3 mixed with calcium carbonate. Thank me later when you go do your bone density testing. So it's like, you know, it's not at all. I've already been on it. What I got hit with because of this was unavoidable. Because me and Tawann, we both went through this. It was unavoidable. You was gonna get hit with it, or regardless if it found you. So on the physical health thing, the one thing I need to do, which I haven't been doing, is I need to get out and dance more. I need to get out and be more active. I'm in my slump of most inactivity ever. It was one of the reasons why I'm mad at Nike right now, because in this phase I wrecked some black on black AF1s. So it's like, I just need to be more active again. And at this stage, I'm gonna always take that shot, fam. I'm gonna always take that shot, son.
Gonna get off.
Shout out to Nelly. Shout out to Nelly because of him, Nike's AFOs went up to $100, even though that's what we do here in New York, period.
Son, they're 90s, son. They're 90.
Son.
Low top.
Son.
I happen to think Air Force Ones are garbage.
Doesn't matter. They shouldn't be 100. Now, and other than that, fam, I was already on it. I may do some other things a little bit more, not because of this, because it was going to be part of the transition anyway. I started throwing vegetables on the grill, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Just because I want more vegetables, diverse vegetables, and a different way to do vegetables in my life. So,
right.
Yeah, that's it for me.
Okay.
About you,
on my side, I don't know. We've always, my wife's always cooked fairly healthy in the house. So it's more the same. I guess for me, what makes a difference is now that I'm not out and about at work and for lunch, that's usually when I would eat the majority of the trash. Mm-hmm. So not only is it lighter on my wallet, but it's probably more healthy. The like Tawann said, the home cooked meals.
Yeah.
Because before, home cooked meals was I don't eat breakfast. I would eat lunch at work and dinner. My wife would she loves to cook. So, but now it's lunch and dinner for home cooked meals. So, but I wouldn't say I'm going out of my way to live a more health conscious lifestyle. It's just, it's been removed from me. I'm no longer out to get lunch, and the Chinese restaurants are all closed.
Yeah, they are.
So I ain't got no choice. Yeah.
Like,
I got no choice. And then, I'd say 95% of the times I eat, McDonald's is when I'm with Tawann.
Right.
We'll get up to do something.
Yeah, it's my fault.
No, I'm not saying it's your fault.
No,
it's just a treat. It's just a treat.
That is the it's McDonald's in me. It's
make that left turn real quick. Yeah, right, let's go get these double quarter pounders
right over there to that golden arch.
this caramel frappe, and then we go send snow pictures.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, what pictures I'm gonna get back.
Anti McDonald's, man. Yeah, man.
But yeah, I think the mental health is where I've been spending a lot of my time.
Yeah.
To fortify and make sure that I got some longevity there, because this shit is heavy on the mental.
It is, man. It is mental. It's funny. It's a funny dynamic in the scheme of everything. And I've been listening since I've been home, dealing with it. And I actually since gone back to work. When it comes to dealing with being at home for long amounts of time, and I was just looking at how liquor stores are essential businesses, and I was just like, wait,
you shouldn't be surprised at that. History has shown alcohol has got us all through every difficult period of time of history.
I agree, but just in hearing Ramon say, you disagree with that, and hearing you say that, it presents a very complex dynamic. So alcohol can be relative to diminishing one's mental health, just like it can be helpful to increasing or maintaining one's mental health.
Wait. No. Don't get it confused as if I was for it. Don't get it confused. I'm just saying don't be surprised that it was named essential.
Yeah, but it's just It's very weird. It's very weird.
I think it is essential though.
And I can see your point. And
yeah, it's got one foot in, one foot out.
Yeah,
so
it definitely does.
It's technically a food.
Right.
Right. And food is essential. Do you have to have alcohol? No, but you don't have to have tacos either. Right? You should be just eating vegetables. So I mean, there's that. But also, I would argue that fucking marijuana is essential.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And that's not a food. Or gaming is essential, and that's not a food. So, yeah, like you said, it's weird. I don't know.
It's in a weird place for me because is it essential because it's consumable, but or is it not essential because it's not life sustaining? Like you don't have to have alcohol, but yes, it is consumable. But what
I think people would argue they can't function without alcohol.
Well, then I think that a person arguing that point needs to seek counseling before.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's you're giving a little bit too much information, making that type of argument. But
I'll tell you where this is coming from. And this, me diving off the deep end with all the dumb shit. So this is a classism thing.
Conspiracy theory.
This is a classism thing.
Too. Go ahead.
Whatever the white man deems is okay will always and forever be okay. Mm-hmm. So, alcohol, son, that's got the golden thumb of approval.
Right.
Alcohol, because the people at B who run the country, who make the decisions, who run the government, you think they will not have a glass of wine readily available in their home? Nah, fam.
Right. Can't
do that. That's not happening. Make sure that liquor stores are open.
And you know what else, son? And God, we're not going to draw this out. But because it teeters into other realms and other conspiracy theories. When it comes to a pandemic and shutting down of businesses that are non-essential, and then you start, okay, so now you're stripping society down of what a person says we don't need.
Sure.
And now you're focusing on what a person says we do need. Yep. And now you start thinking prohibition, alcohol, tobacco, and firearms. These things that, yes, we're on a road of trying to simultaneously send a mixed message about abolishing smoking and advocating, for lack of a better word, for smoking all at the same time. Because I have literally seen a commercial for Juul and then see several minutes or so later a commercial speaking to me why Juul is not good. So
it's politics, baby.
But that's another, right. And that's another story. But when you start talking alcohol and the corporations that are involved in alcohol and how huge alcohol and the sales are, when there's a shutdown and people have to close up their shops, when you think of that line of thinking about where the government places alcohol and where listen, I'm gonna call it how I see it. The government makes their money off alcohol, tobacco, and firearms.
You are absolutely right. That's the lobbying.
Right.
And let's be for real here. If you want to give a little to capitalism, all that lobbying money, you could argue, is what's now paying people on unemployment.
For sure.
So because I ain't never seen no Chinese food lobbying commission.
Nope.
You
Shut
get what
them
I mean?
all down.
So, and this is what it is, son. They spend way too much money. The tobacco industry spends wild amounts of money on lobbying.
Wild.
They are damn near intertwined in all of our politics.
Son.
And you know what? And so does the gun industry and
Yep.
son, these things they spend way too much money not to be essential. And also, when you look back, son, as a disenfranchised people, none of this shit was ever afforded to us.
No.
Tobacco was a leisure. Alcohol was a leisure.
And guns was off the table.
Was you know what that was?
Yeah.
We weren't able to own any of this, but these things are at the DNA and the cornerstones of what white America enjoys since white America was white America.
And they
will never let it go.
And they have,
of course, it's essential.
They have yet to, during this pandemic, you know what was still available and still readily available? A firearm store.
Wow,
They're still open.
Damn, I gotta protect my land. What you talking about?
But check this out.
I got like 5 grills in my backyard, son.
You know what, fam? Listen, to stay on track, we're gonna table this conversation.
Yeah,
because the dude come here trying to steal my grill, son. He getting buckshot all day.
For sure. But it's the only reason why I feel like it carried over in a thought process of when we think about what's essential, what isn't, what's healthy living, what's not healthy living, what makes sense and what doesn't, is when we think about what's available to us as for health reasons and why other things are available. And there's somebody saying that it's healthy mental health wise. There's people that are making arguments that a liquor store being open is very much geared towards mental health. And I was just, but like I said,
so alcohol, tobacco, these things can be healthy coping mechanisms.
Absolutely.
So is water.
Right? I mean, so is water. And you can also say so is gaming.
Right.
So is reading. But all these things, when done in excess, can also kick you off the edge.
Very true. Very true.
So I'm always about hearing the argument.
Right.
But I'm less likely to pick a side. Because I think both sides are valid. But like, son, I enjoy probably 4 or 5 days a week. I'll have my scotch.
Yeah, as you should.
Right, and then I'll go 1 or 2 weeks without having anything. So I don't feel like I'm using it as a coping mechanism, but I also don't feel like this should go away.
Right. But it's your lifestyle, bro. You like that.
Right.
You enjoy a glass of scotch and a cigar. But when the person is sitting with a bottle in their hand on their single seater in their living room, chugging away with a cigarette in his hand, caught up in the fact that he doesn't have a job or his wife is sick with COVID-19 and dying in a hospital somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, he probably shouldn't have that.
Right.
I agree.
Again, it's like, maybe we can talk about this later. We don't have any offsetting music to play to take us out of this feeling of dread. So we'll move on.
Yeah. So let's talk about this new Motorola phone.
More depressing shit.
You guys seen this phone? Yes, the Motorola Edge Plus
and the G8.
Yeah.
The G8 Power.
G8 Power, G8 Power Lite, Edge, and the Edge Plus.
Yeah.
So my overall takeaway from this Motorola weirdness is that they are they're late
With
to the
the
party.
Edge.
Yeah, and they arrived to the party and they still
And
ain't
now
doing
this
it right.
Edge is supposed to be their flagship, right? Which is
Yeah, because for the last 4 years or whatever it is, since they were sold to Google and Google hoarded them out,
I
blah
thought they
blah
sold
blah.
to Lenovo.
They went to Google
okay.
first, then Google sold them to
Okay.
Lenovo. So they're the sluts of the industry, and they've been doing they've been doing mid-range phones, very good mid-range phones,
Excellent
actually.
mid-range phones. I might be getting one because
even
Samsung playing with the
low-end phones.
355 with the 3.5 millimeter jack. So
Well, you do what you gotta do.
I'm gonna do me.
So this is them trying to ramp up, and I'm not against somebody giving their consumer a more premium
Let
version.
me ask you a question. Does this phone have the 355? The 3.5, yeah.
It does.
Okay. Sounds good already.
Does. So there's some pluses
Okay.
to this phone. For instance, it's got all the latest architecture, the new Snapdragon chip. It's got 12 gigs of RAM, which to this
Is that
day
the
I'll
Edge?
tell you,
The Edge
your
got
phone
12
don't need
gigs.
12 gigs of
The
RAM.
Plus.
This is the
Okay.
Edge Plus.
Edge Plus.
Yeah.
It's got a big ass screen at 90 hertz,
How
which
big
is a little
the screen?
annoying. 6.7. I think.
Okay.
It's a. I mean, whatever. It's a big phone, but 90 hertz display is a plus. But
Yes.
also, it's
What's
a
the
negative,
Android situation
right?
on it?
It's got the
Is it
latest
10?
version of
Is it
Android.
with that? Is it that one Android 1 stuff?
No. This is flagship. Android 1 is
Low
only
stuff?
for low
Okay,
spec
okay.
phones. So if you buy a phone that's under like $300, it'll probably have
Okay.
Android 1.
All right. So what?
It's got a big battery.
What is Android running now? I keep forgetting
10.
about.
It's on 10.
It's
They
10.
cut the
I
names.
keep. Yeah, I'm used to the names.
They stopped the names.
I'm definitely used to the names.
It's got it's got dual speakers. It's got 5G, which is whatever.
The Plus got the 5G.
5G towers.
Yeah, fucking hell with that bullshit. It's got a 108 megapixel camera and all the features in tow. Right. But when you look at the cons now, let's go back to that display. It's got 90 hertz. Snow said, if you're gonna be a flagship, do flagship shit. 90 hertz is better than what we had yesteryear, but Samsung's out here with 120.
Bars.
You get what I mean? Apple is probably gonna be there. OnePlus is at 120. So now I'm like, okay. It's got no IP certification, so it's not, it's resistant. You can probably get it splashed here and there, but you can't submerge this phone. Samsung, total opposite. Apple, total opposite, right? You put the design, it's got this, and the reason they call it Edge, and even this is old. Samsung had the Edge in their name for a phone like what, 4 or 5 years ago?
It feels like 5 years ago. It feels like it.
And the crazy thing is that Edge, that waterfalls, what they're now calling it, display where the display bleeds over the edge of the phone. Son, that shit is troublesome.
It is.
Because when you're holding the phone, you're touching the display. So you're touching shit you don't mean to be, you don't mean to touch. And Samsung has since got away from that. The rest of the LG's gotten away from it. Apple never even
It was like,
thought,
nah,
they never
fuck
even,
that shit.
Yeah, they're not fucking with it. So why is Motorola, how are you showing up with this as a feature or gimmick now? Like, and it's like the camera bump when you put it on the phone, when you put it on like a flat surface, the phone is wildly unstable. It's comical, right? All of this for $900.
Right.
I can't rock with that, son.
Yeah, 900 is a bit stiff for this phone, especially you trying to be a flagship and you're not doing flagship shit. At what price point would you say this phone should have been? 700. I still feel like 700
I
too
go
much.
8.
6 or 7.
I go 8.
Nah, that shit should have been
7 to 8.
I say 5, which is where this phone is going to be at 2 months from now.
Yeah,
Yes, I agree.
And I was gonna say that the only reason why I say 7 to 8 is because where it's priced at now, I think that it's considerably less than Samsung Galaxy Plus, even though the Samsung Galaxy Plus is IPS7 resistant, certified.
And also overpriced.
And I mean, and that's the point. You selling me these flagship things, and I think that, in my opinion, this is a flagship phone short of IPS. Like, again, like you said, it could probably work in a rainstorm. It could probably work if by your sink, if you're washing dishes.
Absolutely.
And you get a little water on it.
Or you do the water drip when you just pick it up real quick to dismiss a call or something. Yeah.
Right. But you can't take it in the pool. I mean, I'm not.
Forget about that.
I'm not taking.
You can't drop it in the sink if you're the kind of person who's,
if you're clumsy.
If you load up the sink and wash your dishes that way, or you got the little bucket, you're in trouble.
Right. And like, my feelings are, if you're clumsy, stay away from the pool, stay away from deep water, stay away from your toilets and any standing water.
Accidents happen. I'm not clumsy, and I took a toilet problem with one of my phones.
But that's my point. For $900, you shouldn't have to be aware of your clumsiness.
Yeah.
Because on every other phone out there, for $900, you can drop it wherever the fuck
I can drop a $300 phone anywhere I want if we're talking about the right phones.
But then one has to ask, is it worth not having a phone that's IPS certified with everything else, or all the other bells and whistles? What did you actually save in the development of this phone? Like,
okay, so that's a great point. This is the baseline, right? The Galaxy, fuck with these names. The Galaxy Plus Ultra is not the benchmark. The Galaxy Ultra is a love letter to nerds. Mm-hmm. Right? This is Samsung saying, yo, we make everything, we push everything to the limit, and here's the limit of what you can get today. You don't need any of this shit. But for people who enjoy it, here's the absolute best of every single touch point in what a phone should have.
Until the Note comes out.
Well, no.
Even the Note. The Galaxy and the Notes are very interchangeable. Right now, the only difference is usually just the pen.
Okay.
And the reason why
they're very interchangeable.
The reason why I'm saying F them all is because my headphone jack.
Well, I mean, that's going away in another year. By next year, you won't have any choice.
You will catch these hands if that happens in 2021. I'm already dealing with this Corona shit all 2020. I'm not trying to see 2021 with no headphone jack, period, son. I'm just not having it.
Well, Bluetooth, baby.
It's a wrap.
Bluetooth.
I just won't have a phone, son.
Bluetooth.
All right, we gonna record that day. So here's where it gets super weird for me. Mm-hmm. It's okay that Samsung overcharges for the Ultra, because the Ultra is kind of like Tawann going to buy the shattered backboards 3.0.
Yeah.
It's the same fucking color shoe you already had, but it's better leather.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you'll pay more for the better leather because you're into that shit. All right, cool. So that's for you. But now, when you look at, this is Motorola saying, you know what? I want to be a flagship. I want to compete in the flagship world. Mm-hmm. Ugh. This is your version. This is a better version of your product. But I think it's a piss poor version of you trying to compete in the flagship world. So what I think was better is Motorola looks at this phone and says, you know what? We don't need 108 megapixels because we're not trying to push the limit like Samsung for no reason.
Right.
We're never going to be Pixel or iPhone with the camera quality. So just put a fucking camera on there and be done with it like OnePlus does, right? So you end up at like a phone with a camera with like 20-something megapixels. All right, cool. Mm-hmm. They already in that space with the IP rating. Fuck it. Design the phone, but we just not going to pay for the IP certification. Boom. you know what? The high frequency display is kind of cool. So instead of going for 120, we'll give it 90. All right, cool. All of these little decisions that they make, or even if they take away the 90 dispersion, just give us what we used to anyway. All these little decisions that they make equals real dollars. So instead of this shit being $900, this phone could have possibly come in at like $6 or $7. And at that price point, now you got a real conversation. Is this a flagship killer? Because that's what OnePlus used to be.
They really was.
Son, this could have been an amazing flagship killer versus just, is this even a flagship?
Yeah.
Can you even call this a flagship? You know what I mean?
It's sad.
I don't know, son. It's a weird
we're
phone.
like quote quote old, right? And I mean old. We've seen this technology grow.
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, sir.
We're tech old.
I am not old.
We're tech old, right? Like, we remember when the Motorola phones was a status at one point. You know what I mean? Whether it was the half flip phone, the fully flip phone, even in the beginning days, wasn't one of the original Google phones a Motorola phone or some shit like that? Or at least they was at least still trying to do that, you know what I mean, or compete with that.
HTC, they did
Right.
a Nexus.
And then before that though, like way before that, it was the StarTAC, Motorola, and all that stuff. Remember those little in between things?
Yeah.
SkyTel pages and all that stuff. Like, so the Motorola name means a lot to us, and in today's climate, I don't feel like it means that to the new tech people who came through when Google phone was their first phone. You get what I'm saying? Or iPhone was their first phone. So to see them misstep on stuff like this, it's like they're trying to make a comeback, but you're not even competing against our standards, who got the sympathy for you, who got the history with you, and you're not satisfying the people who are new and probably want something new, but you're not giving them the new.
Right.
You know, and it's really sad because you get stuck in that 250 range, which for me, looking at it, whether it's the Edge or the Edge Plus, why would I get that over the Motorola G8 Power, which is at 250? If I get gypped on the street, $300, it's still a better phone than that to me. You know, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, they're going heavy. They're very much going in the direction of
By the way,
HTC.
the Edge, I have to reclarify something. The Edge Plus should be a $700 phone, correct? The one that isn't the Plus should probably be $600.
Yeah.
I wanted to clarify that. Put some respect on the name.
On Motorola's name?
It's a sad thing. I'll tell you what's interesting here is if we look back, history's full of companies who just didn't make it.
Because they didn't understand.
Like, this is nothing new. Yeah, they just don't understand. You know what I mean? And it sucks to see it.
Nokia's going through that right now. The new Nokia, is going through that right now.
The Nokia isn't Nokia anymore,
Yeah.
so we can they're just a fucking name at this point.
I think they
like
fell
Sony
well
Bios.
into obscurity.
Yeah, Microsoft did that to Nokia. I'll
Yeah, that's
willingly
some grimy
admit
shit.
that.
Yo,
Microsoft
Microsoft
did to them.
sucked. They sucked the life out of Nokia. It did.
Yeah.
Like they literally vampirized them, and then it's like, okay, go over there with whatever patents you have, and you're fine. You're good. You can still live off your patents, and we'll be over here existing.
I think Microsoft took a lot of the patents too, to be honest.
I think Nokia held on to the nav pack, the navigation.
I mean, but let's be real. Everyone's using Google anyway.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
to be honest, Nokia's navigation shit is
It
cutting
is.
edge.
It always has
Yeah, it
been.
is.
Ramon, you made
Yeah.
sure that I gave that thing a fair run, and I have to say I was thoroughly impressed with it. And
Yeah. It's even to this day, it's still better than
And
everything
the
else.
What is that they use?
Is it TevNav, Telenav?
Navistar.
Oh no, that's the new name.
I forgot what
That
it's
was
called.
the latest of the
The
names.
the old name when we had it on the phone.
Wasn't it
I
Telenav
forgot
or
what it
something
was
like that?
called.
Nah, it wasn't. It would say powered by, and I know that one of my Cadillacs had it. I want to say
Nah, it's pretty strong.
it's a really good navigation system.
I would say My favorite navigation systems outside of obviously Google, and Waze is included in this.
Which is Google.
Yeah, but I would say this: the Sprint nav thing that they had on all the Sprint phones before we went to this quote smartphone shit, and that Nokia nav thing that we're talking about. Those are by far.
Mm-hmm. I think no, that was Nokia.
Was the Sprint one was Nokia too? Okay.
Yeah, because they had AT&T had it. All the carriers had it.
Mm-hmm. Amazing.
It was all packaged in the same fucking. Because I remember seeing it on the Sprint phone one day. I was like, wait, I thought AT&T was the only body that had this shit. Yeah, it was definitely. I think that was Nokia.
It's called
Here. Yeah.
Here technology is what it's called.
So it's pretty. It's sad to see it, but looking at and it's crazy because in our lifetime we've seen. Now we're looking at Motorola fading away, not getting it. We've seen Nokia getting raped. You've seen BlackBerry fucking A. Yeah. Seeing these companies, these juggernauts just up and disappear. That's one of the reasons I still love Microsoft so much because they just keep dodging bullets.
Yeah.
No matter what happened, they just find a way to dodge bullets, and I'm just like, wow.
And I think that when a company can when a company can bring themselves to the level of autopilot sustainability, you know what I'm saying? It's it's almost like Microsoft. They've done so much for technology, and I think I want to touch on. We'll touch on that in a later episode, but they've done so much for technology that their sustainability is on autopilot. It doesn't matter how much money they lose. It doesn't matter what devices fail. They still exist. You know what I'm saying? I just think that for Microsoft is just so great. But when it comes to Motorola, and Motorola they're a cell phone company. They manufacture cell phones, and they manufacture communication devices.
They since diversified.
Yeah. What is it? They started with walkie-talkies. They moved to cell phones. They integrated walkie-talkies and cell phones. Weren't they part of the Nextel thing?
I don't remember if Nextel phones or Motorola phones.
I think they were. The i90 and
oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Wait, I missed that. What?
Motorola Nextel phones were Motorola.
Yes,
Motorola
they were.
devices.
Yes, they were.
So, and I feel like that time was so impactful for Motorola. That everyone, when you make most of your money from one specific time period where everyone is using your devices or buying your devices, it didn't matter you couldn't get it in another company. It was just Nextel.
I gotta pull back on something because you mentioned Nextel. It was Telenav.
Yes, it was because it was on Motorola.
Right. It was, and certain Sprint phones had it during the merger, but Sprint had its own GPS system as well. That I don't think it was tied into the what's the name. But the Telenav and the Sprint GPS one was dope because when we ran the family business, all of us had those. I think was the i90s, whatever those things was. Those was the bleep bleep.
The tall flip one, the really big flip one. That was the i75.
Right. So
I think
that was the Telenav GPS that I remember, and the Sprint one. So
yeah.
But those technologies were super dope.
And quite honestly, one could make a case for Nokia phones, the bleep bleeps coming back and probably selling.
Nah, fam, that was the most. I hated the Nextel phone.
They tried to bring it back several times. It's not happening. Nobody wants it.
Fam, I don't need to hear your fucking conversation.
I just love how loud they were.
They were loud, B. Yo, people would be walking past, like when my wife, when she was in the Bronx, people would walk past. We would hear people have a full-fledged conversation with the person next on the other end. Literally, they would be screaming, either the person screaming into the phone, or the person on the other end screaming, and their shit all the way up, volume all the way up. And we're just like, why do we have to hear your conversation? You can talk normal. You don't have to scream.
Son, two things I realized in the Nextel era: people really have fucking nothing to talk about.
Yeah, no, nothing.
Right? And then the second, they're like, some people just don't know how to communicate.
Well, I thought you were gonna say the third thing,
Like,
because everybody's blaming this generation now, right? Look at me. Look at me. That's that. Look at me.
Well, yeah, I mean, whatever. Motherfuckers always gonna be doing that.
In part.
So, but it was just so bad. And then it's like, son, think about how not effective the steps of communication are on a Nextel. I have to chirp you for you to chirp me back. For you to then go, what's up? Son, what? Can you imagine you need to send me a text message? Hey, Snow is trying to send you a text message. Do you want this? It's like calling from prison. Do you want to accept this text message? Yeah, I'll accept this text message. Yo, Snow, Ramon accepted your text message. Would you like to begin your message? Yeah. Yo, what's up, son? How much fucking time did we just lose?
I might have been busy, fam. What's up?
All right, so
if you're busy, just don't fucking respond.
That's
to
why
the
you gotta bleep me, man.
Nah. Hold up, though. Hold up, Ramon.
Son.
Hold up, Snow. I'm gonna tell you about that. So, it was an unwritten rule to chirp somebody immediately and talk.
Yes,
because no one knew where you were. You could be in a business meeting. You could have been anywhere.
And you can't stop it.
Nah, you can't. You can turn it down, and you can because
so that was
remember
amazing.
we used to fuck with Tori like that shit.
Yo, son.
We knew he was at work,
dude.
It was amazing.
People at work, people at work, or they're in a business meeting, and you hear you, or you hear yo, son, where you at? And you in a business meeting.
and that shout out to black people again. That became Boost when Boost got them. Bleep bleep. Where you at? That was the slogan.
Yeah.
So we used to fuck with Tori because we knew he was at work, and we would just we would go.
So yeah, that's Wallace. Y'all Wallace.
We definitely did that. We definitely did that. You ain't getting no alert. We chirp them and we was screaming. You know why? I know that's true because they did it to me. I'll be up in the Bronx chilling with Chris and we doing whatever, and then it chirp. All you hear is ah. So now I'm looking at her. She's looking at me like, yo, what's up with your peoples, man? So it's just it was a fun time. I think it's like a period.
Let me tell you, it was great for business. But
it was.
But my favorite ones is the i90, the i1000, and the i95.
That was the first color screen. Yes.
Those are my favorite ones. There was a few other ones in there that was pretty cool, but those are like, when I think of Nextel phones, those are the first three that I think of. And
I never actually owned one.
I never owned one, but because I used to help with my parents, we had the trucking business. I used to have to use them a lot, being a co-driver.
Yeah.
So yeah, but it the phones were great.
And Ramon, you were using the
Pocket PCs.
The Pocket PCs,
Windows
and
Mobile.
you had just come off of. I want to say you had just
Three-way.
The three-way pager. You had the blue one with the headphones.
Yeah, the V100. I had that. Then I went to Sony.
Yes,
Sony Ericsson. Mm-hmm. I had like 2 or 3 Sony Ericssons. Remember the T68i was the first color screen in America. I used to be on the train. And remember back in those days, you had a case. Phones had cases for your belt.
Yeah.
for whatever reason, the T68i allowed you to snap the phone with the display out.
Yes.
So when I used to leave work, you know, you got your phone charging all day, I put the display on the brightest and I tell it never to turn off, and I just get on the train and watch people like, what is his fucking phone in color?
Yeah.
Some people would just like stare at it.
Yeah.
Yep.
The light flexes was everything.
And then I went to Pocket PC.
Mm-hmm. And we ain't even gonna get into all that. Fucking Pocket PCs. We need a conversation about them too.
Yeah, we'll put that on the list.
On the docket for sure.
So tell me about your theory. Is this a personal theory? Or is this the running theory about the Nike app?
Well, before we go there, are we going to do versus battles, or you want to do Nike first?
Talk about that Nike thing.
We could talk Nike first, yeah? I think we could close out with versus battle.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. So, the Nike theory. Why some are able to hit on the Nike sneaker app versus a lot of people that cannot. I know Snow doesn't really give a shit about Nike or what he can score or not score on it. But for Ramon, you and I, we tend to frequent the Nike sneaker app. So I'll give my feelings, and whoever listening, roll with me. So, when you're talking brick and mortar stores, not Foot Action, Foot Locker, Champs, those are already established. When Nike looks at those stores, they look at those stores as, all right, these are our list of stores where they will always get your Jordan releases, your Air Max releases. I wouldn't call them a limited store, but they have been known to sell limited things. Foot Lockers that have become House of Hoops were known as their more limited sneaker. You might get a Travis Scott release there, just for argument's sake, not saying that they have sold them, but they'll get a Travis Scott sneaker there. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to place in the mind of Nike the perspective of your Foot Locker, Champ Sport, your Foot Action, and Finish Line being the bottom of the barrel, but they're there. Then you have your mom and pops. So a mom and pop, well, you know what? I'll save them third. You have your sneaker boutiques. Now, for whatever reason, somebody at Nike has a passion for sneaker boutiques. So they're based on appearance. They're based on just the what type of, like, their appearance. You cannot get a Nike account if your sneaker store looks like shit. They will deny you, and you won't sell one Nike sneaker in your store. So, and this is what I learned from Corinne with Get Set. So once they remodeled Get Set, you have to send Nike shots, and they'll say, "Yo, we can rock with you. Give them whatever." So, and then you got sneaker boutiques just to clear up that one space. You have what would be considered a sneaker boutique, Concept. Concept is over in Lower Manhattan near the tunnel. I forget what exact block it's on. I want to say Church Street, but Concepts. And then you have Supreme is another well, it's not a sneaker boutique, but they look at it as, because they sold Nike sneakers in there as well. And you have other sneaker stores that are considered sneaker boutiques, or that type of. Then you have the mom and pops. The mom and pops would be considered like Metro. on Flatbush Avenue, and then you have Sneaker Corner on Avenue H. Shout out all of these places. These come up spots where we used to buy sneakers. So now you have your, let's say for us, we opened up a sneaker store. And we say, okay, Nike, this is what we have. We're not a sneaker boutique, but we're a sneaker store. We sell other things, but we focus on sneakers. So they're going to say, okay, send the shots of your store. Okay, the store is fine, but it's not boutique level. We're going to send you this type of sneaker. And it's going to be shit. It's going to be bullshit. It's going to be you get Air Force Ones, but you won't get a high-end. You won't get like an Air Jordan that releases on Saturday morning. You won't get. You get certain second-rate Air Max. You get a lot of things that they would be.
A lot of Jordan 6s.
No. 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 But they would send a lot of things that their outlet stores get. That's what you'll get. Okay. So over time, when you sell more. And when Nike sends over their it's basically how much you order, how much you sell versus how much you order again. All right. They see Nike says, oh, they're moving in this store. So they upgrade you. They upgrade you to, I don't know, they upgrade you from basic to quick strike. So you get a lot of basic sneakers that are quick strike, like you get Dunks, you get Air Force Ones, you get some Jordans, and boom, you can sell them out. Now you're a quick strike store. So Get Set, before they switched over to a sneaker boutique, was a quick strike store. They built that to a quick strike store. After the fact, they were able to get whatever they wanted. All right. So then you sell more. You work your way up to like a Concepts or an Atmos or some of them other sneaker boutiques over in California that get they get the collab with Nike. That's the pinnacle. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So now when you think of that entire process with a sneaker store, now apply it to a person just buying sneakers every Saturday morning on the sneakers app. When you start off, you're not going to hit. So Nike, and I would assume their algorithm, they're going to see you're on trying to get a sneaker. And then they're going to take everybody else that buys sneakers and has been buying sneakers for years with them, been spending this amount of money for years with them, and they're going to let you win over them. Nah. So it's almost like, when you think about it, you know how when you play Call of Duty and Battlefield, and how the system works is the server will never put you in a room with a bunch of people with a 50 rank or 100 rank. Like if you're a new Battlefield server, it'll put you with people ranked with you, rank matchmaking. Yeah. So think about it in that on those premises. Now, it's not unheard of for a person that just started buying from the sneakers app to hit a Travis Scott or what have you. But it's far few people who would be considered low in rank to abundantly hit on Travis Scott's, where somebody else that has been buying sneakers forever with under the Nike sneaker app, they've spent tens of 20s of 30s of 40s of thousands of dollars with them. So now it's like they're going to always hit. Like I hadn't purchased a sneaker from the sneakers app in almost a year. Almost a year. And I just hit for
Were your breads the breads the last?
Nah, I just hit for the
No, I mean the last ones
the
you
fives
purchased for a while.
the fives. I just hit the fire red fives. So
No. What was the last you said for a year? What was the last shoes? The last time you hit?
The Travis Scott's. And
Okay.
I would and even though the it was a slightly different, but the draw, I won the draw on both of those. The draw for the Air Jordan 6 Travis Scott's and the draw for the Air Jordan 1 Travis Scott. So a little less than a year because the 6s came out in October and the others came out but I only tried for 2 pair last year, and that was those 2. So now this is part of the entire theory that I believe the more sneakers you purchase through the sneakers app, the better your chances become at hitting when you're ready to hit, whenever you want. Because again, like I said, I've already spent this amount for on the sneakers app. So that doesn't change. So now the only way it would change is if there was somebody on my level that continued to buy and I didn't continue to buy. Well, they've now surpassed me on the again algorithm aspect of it all, and they're more likely to hit than I would be. But I've still spent this amount of money through the Nike sneakers app. So yeah, they'll say, all right, he can rock. He's been buying, because I listen to how people say, well, I don't never hit on a Nike sneakers app. All right, well, how many sneakers did you start off buying? Were you buying bullshit before you went to Jordans? Were you buying bullshit in Jordans before you went to Travis Scott's? Were you buying bullshit in Jordans and occasionally hit on Travis Scott before you went to this? So so many sneaker collectors and sneakers, they like, yo, I can't believe I hit. It's possible. It's possible to hit. And you hear somebody, other people say, oh, these fucking bots on the sneakers app, they got a hold of it. I don't think it's all bots. I don't think it's.
So if what you're saying is true, I still am not on board with it.
Okay.
So I'm coming from the direction of Nike has a problem.
Okay.
The sneaker industry has a problem.
And that problem
and I
can
is
agree
resellers.
with that. Yes. Always will be.
If that's the baseline, as a sneaker admirer, I would be considered a filthy casual. It's not every pair of hype beast shoes that I want. In fact, very few that I like, oh, these are nice. I would like to get these. Right. So I'm taking that back to brick and mortar days. I'm not lining up every Saturday to get whatever Jordans because I generally don't give a fuck. Right. But the pair that I do see that's like, oh, these are kind of cool. I would like to be able to get online Saturday morning and get those. Right. However, in brick and mortar days, I'm still not getting them because the resellers got the manager of whatever store on lock.
Right.
So all those pairs are already gone.
Yeah, they already backdoored.
2 days earlier.
They backdoored.
Right? So Nike says to me, oh, that is a problem. We don't know how to fix that, so we'll take it online. You can't come and do the same thing. Because the people that buy every single Saturday are the people that's reselling, not the... Son, you're an avid collector and you don't buy every Saturday. Yeah. Because there just isn't that many dope shoes coming out.
True.
So if you create a system that rewards people for buying every single Saturday, you are still encouraging the problem you told me the app was supposed to solve.
Yeah.
Am I making sense there?
Yes.
So I don't know if it's true. It's a theory. I get it. But the shit, there should be no algorithm in this sneaker. The only algorithm that should happen is how do you completely randomize all of these people placing all these orders at once? It should be totally fucking random.
It should be.
You know what I mean? And that's why I don't get upset if I don't hit.
Right.
But it's kind of like I do get the feeling like, son, whenever I see a pair of sneakers that I want, I'll just go to fucking StockX and buy them at a $40, $50
markup.
Because I don't want to deal, son. Me not being frustrated and snapping at my wife because I didn't get these fucking pair of sneakers I've been watching for. I've been waiting for 2 months is easily worth $50, a $50 premium.
Yeah.
You get, like, I just don't want to deal with, like, I'm at the point where I'm financially stable and mentally aware of who I am. I don't want to deal with fucking frustration, son.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that from that point of view, that has somewhat been my approach to sneakers. Like, there are sneakers where I'll just simply anticipate not getting, and I'll bypass that with buying them from the Go app. Like, the what happened? What was it? The breads I bought from the Goat app, and I didn't spend that much more than what they cost. You have the bread 4s. The bread 4s, I think I hit on the sneakers app.
We hit.
I think
we all hit.
And
remember that? We all got them.
Yeah.
I don't even have that app, like, and I hit.
I think that when it comes to certain sneakers, if there's an excess and abundance to this, like there's a few million out, like, all right, it's almost guaranteed that we're going to hit. But when it comes to sneakers like the Travis Scotts that you really want, like, I really wanted I wasn't crazy about the ones, but I'm like, let me try for them. And lo and behold, with all the fuck shit that went on that morning with their system, because their system was like, nope, it's too many people on here, too many people trying for the sneaker, I'm shutting down. Not only am I shutting down, but I'm shutting down for almost a half hour. So here I go. I'm just still looking. I'm like, and I was about to get up because I'm still in dialogue with my wife. Like, yo, I'm not even going to do it, because I was thinking about just selling them. I'm like, I'm not going to do it. This shit's wash. And I was seconds from getting off. So something said, go to Twitter. So I go to Twitter, and Twitter is like, and this was literally at the same time I went to Twitter. I go to the app, and they're like, yo, people are starting to get through. So I go back to the sneakers app, and I'm like, and I try again. This is the last time before I say, fuck it. Wait. Then I get the email from the Cash App that says, 100 is such and such. They took the money. And I'm like, wait, what? What happened? I'm like, okay, what happened here? Because this sneaker is not only limited, but it's like, it wasn't a draw, it was a straight pick. And I'm like, so I was just baffled. I couldn't tell you what happened or why. However, I hit. So now they make the Jordan 6 Travis Scotts a draw. They're like, fuck all that shit that happened. We're not doing that again. Make this shit a draw. So you could get your L's and carry on. Another time, I'm like, all right, well, I don't anticipate hitting. I know I'm not going to hit. There's so many people want these shits. It's a hype beast thing. But I'm going to try. Put it through. Wait, 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 wait. You just hit. You got him. And I'm like, that's 2 in a row. That's 2. One I get, but that's 2 in a row. Yeah. So now I'm getting into conspiracy theory shit, and this is a conspiracy theory that I've had since I won the second Travis Scott sneaker. And
I understand.
You know, and I'm like, it has to be something.
So this is it's fun to dive into this. Yeah. But it just goes back. It just goes back to, and I'm not letting Nike off the hook here. It goes back to Kanye.
For sure.
When he was just like, I want everybody to own a pair of Yeezys. Right? And everyone teabagged that comment because they're like, yeah, whatever, motherfucker, they still $1,000. Well, it's not his fault, but it is his fault. Right? Just like they said it was Kanye's fault because they were only making X amount of whatever shoes, and that creates this exclusivity that then creates that market. And I totally agree. Now, let's take Call of Duty. Can you imagine if Call of Duty says, well, here's this new Call of Duty game and only 50,000 people will be able to get this game. So what does that does? First of all, it sounds fucking ridiculous because you can make an unlimited amount of copies of this thing, right? Just like Nike can make an unlimited amount of copies of whatever fucking sneaker they want. Right. The reason they only cut production is because they want to move on to the next. Right. But they're more than capable. Son, if everybody wanted to,
I thought it was just to create demand for the next thing. That's it.
If they went about it like this, right? All right, everyone. The release date for this pair of Jordans is going to be a month out. Right. If you want them, hit this button and reserve your pair, and we'll make sure that you get your pair.
And that's what I was saying from the get-go.
Right? If they did that, fam, fuck the resellers.
Yeah. Yeah.
You have no reselling problem. But the fact that they will not do that says to me, son, they're okay with resellers.
In a way, yes.
And if you're okay with resellers, then fuck you for telling me to my face that this app was supposed to stop reselling.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that as well. Like, listen, whether one person or 100,000 people, when a person is capable of buying 100 pair of one sneaker, to Nike, that's a sale.
Yeah,
that's 100 cents. They just made. If the sneaker is $200 and a person just spent won 100 pair, well, that's what, $400? No, more than that. That's $4,000, $2,000.
Son, Nike is gonna make the sales regardless. The point here is there are people who want the product that can't get the product.
Here's me, right? Because I'm not into any of the hype beasts, none of that shit, right? Every now and then, some dope shit comes across my timeline.
Is that not a Captain America bag?
Yeah, it is.
Hanging off the back of your door.
I am a fan from yonder, so F all that.
Fuck you and Steve Rogers.
He's gonna give you that work, fam. You just watch your mouth. So, every now and then, I'll see some dope shit come across my timeline. And the first thing I say today and for the last probably like 6 or so years is like, fuck. Because, number one, I know the price is already crazy. And number two, even if I was okay with paying the price, it's already gone. I'm not even going to have a chance to get it.
You can't even smell this glue in the fucking shoe, son. Like,
and then at that point, it's just like, I'm just gonna do like walk in the store and I don't know. We see what happens. Maybe I buy some. Maybe I buy. I don't know, these AF1s that fucked up on me recently. But it's like, you know, what like what do I do? You know what I'm saying? Like what do I want? Like what do I do? You know. So the app thing would be like what I was telling you before about the YouTube thing, right? When you sell shirts on YouTube, right? It's like, yo, anything on YouTube, when the creator's making it, hey, listen, for this time to this time, put your orders in. When it's done, I'm going to get in production and I'm going to make this stuff and it will start shipping from this time. Son, it's not that hard. Yeah. The thing is, I believe that all this culture is actually helping them sell more. Forget about the resellers, right?
Mm-hmm. It's helping them raise their fucking prices
on a sneaker that costs them nothing, and they're able to do lower quality. That's why I keep saying these AF1s, right? They keep making lower quality to put it out, so the margins are ridiculous. So nobody cares about what the reseller does. Son, I can make half the amount of sneakers and make more profit than what I was doing in the 90s. Or close to what I was doing to the 90s.
On top of that, to tell everybody, email. This is what you did. It's like a list. Mm-hmm. You want this sneaker that's coming out in June 30th.
Right.
You're gonna send us an email, name, age, shoe size, whatever, and specs, whatever, and the sneaker in the colorway that you want. Do you know how much Nike would charge for that? Son, where a sneaker that they would charge for that would normally charge, let's say an Air Jordan 1, 100 and is now, it went up from 160 to 170. Son, for that type of feature, they're going straight up to 200 or better.
What, you mean for some customization?
No, just for the option or the now everybody gets a guaranteed a sneaker that everybody wants. Everybody that emails us this information will get it. If they move to that to defeat the bots, their order, the price, Air Jordan 1 will...
But that's fucking stupid. Why would they charge more? Because you have more control. Like, you know exactly how much of these things to fucking make.
I agree. But that type of...
And the odds are they would make more money because these are actual people who they're taking money essentially out of StockX's pocket.
That's a fact. And this way would put them all out of business. But you have to you have to look at, and this is just, I'm gonna play devil's advocate. So now we gotta hire a team, not one person. You gotta hire a team to handle this high number of emails.
Nah.
And process these emails.
Nah, because that's the old way.
But so what, you're going to do a computer? It's going to be computer generated?
Son,
that handles these emails?
They gotta come through because the emails could be fake too. They gotta get an account.
But the only way you can really account for these emails, because to do it this way, the bot team is going to figure out a way to get around that. And once they figure out a way to get around that, which would probably be fairly easy, you're going to have the same problem. But when you have a team of people looking at certain things, like, hold up, this don't look right. This looks like a double order. I got an email coming from T-Geist 76. That's the good one. That's the official one. I got another email coming from T-Geist 6. I got another email coming from T-Geist 8. I got another email coming.
That won't happen
when you have an account. And then at the end of the day, if you want to buy 1,000 sneakers, go ahead. Have fun trying to sell them, because we're only making the amount that we're getting pre-orders for.
There is no demand for that because everyone who wants
be able to get to
will have it. So who the fuck you selling your extra 6 pairs to?
Yeah. Maybe that's somebody, if you put them up, maybe somebody like me, there's like 3 sneakers that I bought 2 of out the gate. Or I wore them for about a month and went back to the store and got another one because these are not going to be in the shelves past a year when I'm usually looking for another sneaker again. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But that was back in the days. So, once you give everybody the opportunity to get it, the resellers can't eat. They gotta wait, like how everybody was doing the first time before all this shit was popping off. I got a pair of Tim Duncans that was chilling in my attic in my uncle's crib since the 90s or since the late 2000s. He was clearing it out. He called me and I'd be like, oh, yo, let me put these up on eBay. That's how people going to get their shit.
Yeah, but you know, what I'm fearful of is when Nike says we're going to make 1 million pairs of this sneaker.
Nah, it's different.
I mean, if you say we're going to make enough to account for who sent emails,
No, you're not sending an email. You're buying. It's a pre-order. That's how
right.
That's how you're making the sale. The pre-order. I have your money already. Now I have to produce this product. So if someone's pre-ordering 100 sneakers, thinking that they're gonna come up when all the other people like me who couldn't get the sneakers before now can go directly to the source, pre-order it out the gate and get it. Fuck your extra 100 sneakers, fam. I got my shits. You're done here.
Okay.
So if you want your second pair because you love them so much,
Now we got a problem.
Now it's shift because you're not gonna pay the reseller 170 for them. Like, fam, I already got them. I'll give you like 130. Right. Mm-hmm. So now the reseller, like so the demand is just opposite.
Okay, well, I'll think about that some more and see and try to.
But that's my point. Nike doesn't fucking care about.
Let me ask you a question.
They don't,
son.
That's the shit that sucks because I see these kids out here like, yo, that sucks. You got a kid working in fucking McDonald's flipping burgers and he's like, yo, these J's are crazy. I'm fitting to get these. Fam, that was us.
In the 90s, yes.
We had that privilege coming up. We can get whatever we want. Now, if you wear them, you know.
If you ain't got the
that's
on
you.
Team with you when you go get them, that's on you.
That's on you. But you want them, you work hard for the money, you can get it. These kids today, son, they can't even fucking smell it. It's just not on the table for them.
Right, and my
that's
thing
not
is
fair.
this, right? How many people live in a town in New York City, right? Son, that number is probably astronomical. How many sneakers are being produced for the nation? There's how many people that live in New York City alone? And we gets busy with sneakers, streetwear. Any city in America gets busy with streetwear. I don't care where you at. People think San Fran don't get busy with that. They're wrong. They might wear different stuff, but they wear it.
Sir, have you ever been to Boston?
I've been to Boston. We're not going there. They get busy.
I'm going there because motherfuckers in Boston can't dress.
I'm sorry, I have to agree with Ramon.
Listen,
who's
talking about getting dressed? People.
You said streetwear getting busy.
Getting busy meaning like we wear it, we with it. I'm not saying they doing it together. They wearing it correctly. Son, we've been all over places. Yeah, let's keep it New York City. People in Ozone could dress, fam. People in South Ozone could dress.
You talking about Queens? Queens is not a part of New York.
You see how we just did that?
I refuse
what
to
about
acknowledge
Sunset
Queens
Park?
is part of New York.
People in Sunset Park could dress back in the days?
Some people can Sunset
Some
Park
people
can
could dress anywhere, but can they dress as a whole?
The Puerto Ricans and the Italians throw down.
I said some people can dress anywhere, but we talking about as a whole.
Okay.
I mean, I worked in Sunset Park,
fam,
and there was some dresses out there. A lot of them.
You know what Sunset Park was rocking when we was coming up? South Pole jeans.
Yeah, that must have been after I left.
See now we got the arbitrary stuff. But I'm just saying, like, no matter what, we with the shits. No matter where you at, the city's gonna get whatever the city can get. In some places, they rock sketches when we was rocking something else. That's just the way it goes. The thing that I'm trying to get at is there's so many people in this city. There's not enough sneakers. If everybody here wanted to get some trash ass Jordans, we can't get them. Now imagine spreading that across just the cities all across America, and you only make it 50,000, 100,000, half a mil. Come on, fam. Now you know for a fact, like everybody want these trash panda sneakers from Jordan. Everybody could get them, including me, so I can cut them. You get what I'm saying? So it's like when you do the app,
I'm willing to say,
son, you're just maximizing. You're gonna take some L's in the beginning because you got to get the app out there. But once everybody know that this is the wave now, we don't have to deal with the resellers. Now I can start looking at sneakers and go, you know what? I will get these now. I can have these now. And then I'll bitch about the quality later.
I'm willing to say, given what we're talking about, if Nike opens the door to take orders, to take a pre-order for everyone who wants a shoe,
full,
they can lower the cost of that shoe. So they can bring Air Jordan down from 170 to about 120 and still make more money than they did before. Thing, right?
They could keep the price.
That's a stretch.
Hang on, Stowe. Let me put the frame around it. So you have 500,000 pair of shoes at $170. That creates crazy hype, right? Versus, and you know, there's X amount of hidden number of people who want the shoe but just can't get it and can't afford the reseller. So go fuck yourself. Good luck. Go to Marshalls and get some next shit. Now, versus over, let's say 1.5 million people says, I want this shoe. Here's my money. I expect to see this box in a month. At $120, Nike makes double that. They make double what they would have made before. Mm-hmm. And everybody wins in that situation. People who wanted the shoe wins. The price point is cheaper, and you don't have to deal with a middleman.
Okay.
That's it. That's just a win-win-win situation. And you guys know, between the three of us, we know X amount of resellers.
Right.
We all know these people. We all cool with these people. These people will pull strings for us when we need it. I'm not against these people, but these people are hustlers and they will find something else to hustle.
Yeah.
They'll be all right. But there's a very distinct difference between the reseller and Tawann. So Tawann's a collector. Mm-hmm. I've yet to meet a reseller that's a collector.
I agree.
They don't give a shit
because
about
everything has
a
price.
Right.
They don't give a fuck. And that's not the person that can empathize with a kid who worked hard to save up his fucking money to get these Spider-Man 1s because he saw fucking Miles Morales rocking them. Like, nah, that's out of your league, son. You'll never get those. Mm-hmm. Come on, fam. That ain't cool. That ain't cool.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. But you know what else ain't cool, man? What started off as cool, but I'm starting to lose interest really quick. Motherfucking versus battles, B.
Where did this start?
Wait, Snow, you go
ahead.
So
this is all Corona boredom shit. Yeah,
this is all boredom shit. Today. This is all boredom shit. Yeah, right now. So, it started with Swiss Beats and Timbaland. I'm lying. It started with Swiss Beats and
Just Blaze.
Just Blaze.
About like 2 years ago or something like that.
Just longer than that. So I think it was like 2015.
Yeah, whatever.
So what did they do?
So they had what's called a beat battle, and Just Blaze had his setup. Right here, like a DJ setup, and then over on this corner, Swiss Beats was set up. So they're all lined into the same amp, same whatever, same amp, which is lined up into the same speakers. So you flip a coin, and whoever wins the flip goes first or goes second. So in that type of beat battle, I don't know who, right? And I don't know who would want to go first, but whatever. Such and such goes first, and what happens is it's just what makes people remember is the thing. It's like where you were when this song came out, how it impacted you, how hard it was hit, how great the song was, and that's what the moving factor of doing versus battles are. So it started from there, and then at one of the summer jams, Swiss did it again versus Timbaland, but it was just it was whatever. It wasn't on a scale. It didn't move the needle forward. So now, in this time of boredom, in this time of, I ain't doing shit at home, it's nothing for me to hook up to Instagram and get on IG Live and play music. So it started with the whole music thing. It started with D Nice. So D Nice and D Nice and IG Live.
Mm-hmm.
So DJ D Nice, formerly of Boogie Down Productions, did a show, a party, a D Nice party, something like that, and it was a hit. He had about 500,000 people viewing this all simultaneously. They said it was the biggest house party ever. Michelle Obama was on. All of these people were on. So now Swiss Beats and Timbaland comes back and says, "Yo, we should do." They see the success in that, and they say, "Well, we should do, bring the beat battle back, and we'll spin it off." And that's what they did. And then they saw the success in it and said, "Okay, do you think that maybe we should probably start doing versus battles? And we pit this person versus that person. Nothing serious. It's just your hits versus my hits. And we let the people decide who won." So, and that's what they started doing. You had just a whole bunch. You had Neo versus this person, The Dream versus that person, Jonta versus this person, Hit Boy versus this guy, producer. You had everybody versus everybody. And now we are at the point where you had RZA versus DJ Premier.
Well, that's a wash.
Nah, I feel like that was the one. Because Premier.
Well, we know who was the best.
It's still.
Watch your mouth, son. You getting ready to say some more wild shit.
It's still up for debate. Yeah.
Did you mention Teddy though?
You had that one as well.
But no, yes, but that one is very
and that
important.
One had a part 1 and part 2.
Right, but it's very important. It's very important that you say that, because even though those other things were happening, the Teddy one is what got the R&B crowd involved. Because now there's supposed to be a Jill Scott and Erykah Badu. There's supposed to be, I forget some of these other people. Like, there's people coming out the woodworks. And on top of it, there's these memes going up now. So they're talking about 50 Cent. Ja Rule was talking about he'll do one versus 50 Cent. And then people are putting up these images of artists over here and artists over there in the songs, and people are voting on that. And there are also people putting up on their status updates, they'll put like, Jay-Z Takeover versus KRS-One, The Bridge, South Bronx thing. Like, people are doing it, so it's taking on various formats. It's like, oh, you guys don't want to get on and do the video? Y'all don't want to do that? Okay, so we gonna do song for song. Us, and whoever I'm friends with or following or whatever, we're gonna do it. So it's getting overdone. Which is your point. Yeah. Because of it. Like, if the people who we putting the verses on ain't gonna do it, like Michael Jackson, get your ass up out the coffin. We need you to come, holler at Chris Brown real quick on these rounds. Well, that's never gonna happen. So,
and like, they're trying to do a Michael Jackson versus Prince,
which is tiresome.
No, but as much as I wouldn't mind hearing that, first of all, we can't have an actual factual Michael Jackson versus Prince, because neither one of them are alive.
Well, we already did it. In terms of when they were alive, everybody was comparing them.
Yeah.
So let me come in here.
Okay.
I'm used to this from back in the day.
Because Xbox sucks.
Okay.
Because you would get like these Barris Hammond and Sanchez.
Is this the SoundClash stuff?
SoundClash.
Is that what that is?
Yeah. It's kind of, and they used to call these clashing in the Jamaican culture. Or you would get like, Garnick Silk and Sanchez. But the key difference is not versus and.
Yeah.
What I don't like about what I'm seeing with this shit, right, is I like the pairings. For instance, so last night I told y'all with the other homies, we was on a WhatsApp and Cash made a DMX. They had started that conversation, DMX versus Jay-Z.
Which,
because I guess that was one that was trending.
which is a very good battle.
I said, I think that's just a wash.
It is, but it's still good. It is. So
Cash created the playlist on Spotify.
Uh-huh.
1 2 1 2 1 2, and then we went on for like an hour, and DMX had some wins in there, but you know how that ended up. I liked how that, and I would have fun in that exercise with you guys as well, because I know everyone is balanced, and I know everyone is able to not do the fuck shit, the toxic shit, like. It's not about, is DMX a better rapper than Jay-Z? That's not what we're saying here. Right. What we're saying is, how hard did this song hit for you?
Right.
How hard did this hit for the collective?
How impactful is this song to you versus Jay-Z's song to me, and vice versa?
Right. But what I'm seeing is, I see the pairings that are generally pretty good.
Right.
But then the conversations go fucking wildly south. Because it's a versus. So it's just like, how you gonna say Jay-Z could ever be better? Like, son, no one's saying he's better.
Right.
Which is why I wish like we just take the verses out. But then again, it doesn't even matter if we use the word
go back to that.
Because in today's world, people just need, son, like, two people can't exist in our culture today. No. It's either one or the other.
And a lot of people can't exist, period.
And I don't want to participate in that.
Right.
So I'm like, it's just so toxic.
I mean, and it's been like that for a while. It's like when I worked at GNC, right? I don't like to do, this is better. Right? It's better for you, but it's not the best. You get what I'm saying? Like, something good is there's good, better, best. And it's always going to be catered to the person. I could see someone who grew up listening to Common, Most Def, and them will never pick DMX, will never pick Jay-Z, will never pick any of those brothers.
And then somebody, not to cut you off, Snow, and somebody that listened to Tribe Called Quest and De La Soul wouldn't pick Common and those individuals.
Right.
Like, even though they're very similar,
right.
You follow?
Yeah.
Everybody has a perspective of music that they like. That in 5 to 10 years later, you had another spurt of that type of music that the people now listening to that type of music will say, oh, this is better than De La Soul and Tribe Called Quest.
Yeah.
Well, how so? If the music is very similar, what the content is very similar. It's very earthy and black Afrocentric and uplift people, conscious. So what makes this more conscious than that? Oh, well, this one said it better. Nah, that's where it becomes very toxic.
Yeah, and what I like about it is the actuals, right? So the actual battles, the artist versus the artist, the producer versus the producer. You know what I'm saying? I enjoy that. The side stuff, I'm not really feeling. And this is when I became, because in the side stuff, they're pairing songs together that just is washing. You can tell someone is trying to favor it towards their artist, right? Their preference. Instead of just doing the good homework of making sure that the songs have some type of clearance to each other. You get what I'm saying? Like some type of relationship to each other. It's like, I'm not going to play Jay-Z's last hit versus Nas' first hit. It's silly, right? Now, the one that made me done was Black Mike versus White Mike.
I don't know who the fuck that is.
Black Michael Jackson versus White Michael Jackson.
Oh, nah.
That's when I was like, and at first I was like, okay, here's the meme. And I'm looking into it, and I go into the comment section, and we're really having a flat out thing. And there's like a 5% people in here that's like, are we really doing this stupid shit? Like Like, are we really doing this dumb shit? And I'm just like, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm done with this whole situation now, because it was only a matter of time before that got pulled in, and it's just gonna keep going left. You know, I was looking for like Sexual Chocolate versus Pootie Tang, the dude from Pootie Tang. I was looking for that.
Yeah.
But then you get this crap here. So I was just like, whatever, fam. It was good. I want the live battles, because those are fun, and the people who are controlling the message, which is the people who are living, they are participating in it. Like John Legend, I think he went on the record and said he wanted to do a piano battle versus Alicia Keys, which is a little different because they're not playing, they're not singing, they're doing pianos. You executing the skills.
And I think and I think Alicia Keys will wash him all the way up, but this is my opinion.
Right. So it's like
But-
it's like, you know, these are gonna be cool. And actually, oh man, her name just escapes me, but I want to see, you know, some of those people. There was this one chick that was supposed to go on tour with MJ, the This Is It tour, and it's this other chick who's been tearing it up on social media. You know, I would like to see them do a video like this together. It doesn't matter who wins. I just want people to see these two chicks. You get what I'm saying? Like, they out here, they're young, they're killing it, they're kind of innovative. I don't know if they're gonna be like legendary guitarists, just because stuff like this today doesn't get put out there like that, the way that it used to be. But like, let the people see it. You know what I mean? But the versus battles was cool, but it's overdone when it gets to the side conversations. Though I will say this, like you said, Ramon, the curation of it among friends, and y'all did it through the happy hour online, that was dope.
Yeah.
That was dope.
I can agree with that.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out a way to set up a bigger scale happy hour.
We should do it with
all the
PlayStation
homies.
exclusives.
Yeah, I know what happy hour I won't be at.
No, I'm there, fam. I got some thoughts on Knack
Son,
all day.
it's Knacktacular, baby.
Is Knack even a thing still?
Knack 3 confirmed. Nah.
Did it really? Was it? I was about to say.
Yeah,
something.
they don't get that shit the fuck out of here.
So I'm watching Knack, son.
But
Protect your
we're
neck.
gonna
Protect your neck.
protect your neck. Knacking fucking Christ.
Oh man.
We're gonna wrap this one
For
up.
sure.
As always, we really appreciate our listeners for coming along with us on the ride and the feedback we've been getting over the episodes as we further our conversations and dial in our perspectives and the production quality X, Y, and Z.
Definitely.
So Eddie, reach out to us. Always in the descriptions of wherever you'll catch these podcasts will be the links to our social media. You want to talk, you want to give us some feedback, you want to further a conversation you heard here, we welcome that.
For sure.
But my name is Ramon.
I am Tawann, aka Kicks God. And I'm thinking about pausing. I'm thinking about changing KIIX to KICKS. Let me know. Let us know.
What are you, an adult?
I
What are you, fucking spelling shit right
That's the
all
corona.
of a
That's
sudden?
the corona. Him changing his life, son.
Yeah, it's Corona and algorithm. That's what I'm concerned with.
Man is thinking about the future of branding.
Of course. Rebrand.
Tawann, we would like to give you the bag, but it seems that you got a bit of a spelling issue.
Yeah, that's bad for me. But I am the Kicks God, spelled incorrectly.
And I'm your boy Snow, toying with the name God. Peace.
We out of here,
Out of
man.
here. Peace.
Peace.